Hi everyone, this is John Caro from John Caro Coaching. Today I would like to speak about our series of communication, how to become a better communicator and how to learn different various skills in communication. If you're ready, join us. We will start with a little presentation that I prepared for you. Communication skills part 1, and today we'll be talking about how to listen to yourself. The first component of listening to yourself is to understand how you like to receive the message. All of us, in a different way, we learn. In a different way, we communicate with the outside and the inside world. Some of us are better to receive information through hearing. Others are better to receive information by reading. And others are better, for instance, to receive the information by moving. It's called kinesthetic. So these people, they can learn better through dancing or theater, any kind of way, sports that they can actually engage their bodies. So whether you learn better through your eyes or through speaking or through writing or through moving your body, this will allow you to understand how you communicate with yourself and also how you communicate with your subconscious. Do you like to receive more kind of rational messages that comes from your brain, or do you like to speak more with your subconscious or so-called heart and speak through the emotions? And in this way, you are better to tap into so-called intuition. About intuition, we could speak much more, but generally, the term of intuition, I believe, and the term that many scientists have found is very practical, is that intuition is our subconsciousness. It's many things that we did in the past that give us an experience which we feel as an emotion, as this gut feeling that tells us, yes, this is the correct thing to do. No, this is not the correct thing to do at the moment. Once you understand a little bit more about how you receive messages the way you like it, it is better for you to tap into your inner self and to communicate better with yourself. So this is like setting up the scene. Another very important thing is where you like to get in the information. Some people like to think in the bathroom, some in the bathtub, with hot water. Some people like to go for a walk. Another person likes to work with their hands in the garden, and this way they can relax. Another person actually likes to be a little bit more pushed through different opportunities. Something is happening, a lot of commotion, and in this kind of environment, they can actually focus better. So depending what kind of a person you know yourself better, and if not, just experiment, see where are you better to listen to yourself, where actually you're more creative and more able to get more from your own self. After you get this, where is the place and what kind of messages and which way you would like to receive them, you have to be understanding what are you asking for. So be specific. If you ask yourself a question, try to be specific. What actually do you need from life? So if you ask yourself, well, I'm looking for a job. Are you actually looking for a job, or are you looking for a way to invest your time, not to be bored, or you want to just earn money, you want to support your family, you want to feel needed, you want to have a cause in your life? I'm looking for a job is not very specific for your own self and for the world itself. Like, what does it actually mean? What kind of a job you are looking for? Why are you looking for this job? If you will be more specific, if you ask yourself this question, it will be easier for you to answer them. For instance, for sure you had many opportunities in your life when someone asked you a question and he was not very specific and you didn't know how to answer them. Like, for instance, let's say someone asks you a question, why do people like color orange? And you're like, I don't know, that's a very specific question. But if someone asks you, why do people like to eat strawberries with the taste of orange? Well, then you can say, Well, because some people like this taste because it's more sour. It already gives you something which is more detailed, and from this you can actually construct something. And the same you work, the same our subconscious work, and the same is for us. If I remember when I was a kid, and if my mother sent me to the shop and said, well, buy something for lunch, well, then I could buy anything I wanted to buy for lunch, and for lunch will be just ice cream and fries. And my mother will be not very satisfied. But if she gave me a detailed list, that would be much more easier for me to buy the things she needs, plus maybe something for myself if I was a good boy and got lucky. So we have to be specific. It helps us to communicate better with others, and especially to communicate with ourselves. If we expect it from other people and we expect it from interaction with our other selves, why we don't use it in our own life planning, goal planning, and whatever decisions we would like to have to communicate better with ourselves. You have to understand, what do you want from life? What is the current situation that we are inside? It's always every decision is very, very specific according to time, place, and circumstances that we are actually in. So everyone will want something different from life, and everyone is in a different situation. So once you answer also these questions, this will not only allow you to be more specific, let's say, where the specific will be time, place, but what is your own life situation? Where are you now at life? Are you 20, are you 30, 60? Are you a man? Are you a woman? This all helps you to identify more with the needs that you want for the specific thematic and specific cause. So sometimes we are very spaced out, and we don't think it's very important, and it's quite obvious that we are a man or a woman, but we have to always specify this and understand where I'm actually right now. Like maybe what I want from life. Maybe I want to go this direction. I was always going this direction, and now I would like to start something new and fresh. So this also helps to go even more broad, and this more broad gives us more opportunity to actually go better into detail later. Be aware. Well, that is very important, to be aware of different things that are happening in our bodies, different emotions that we feel, different times of day. For instance, we have different daily schedules, and we live in a different harmonogram. And because of this, we are more active in the morning, or maybe more active during the day, or maybe more active in the evening. This also changes with age. But let's say you are better at working with your mind, with mental work in the morning, as you are better with physical work in the afternoon and evening. So this can actually help you to be more aware, tap in with your body, what are your needs, and what's happening right now. Do you are actually listening to your body? Are you actually listening to the signals that it gives you? Are you still having the same dream with the same patterns? Did you try to maybe try to understand what's happening? Or do you always feel the same feeling when you do a particular work? And why does this feeling come to you? Or you just got used to it and you're not even thinking, you thought it's normal. So being aware means we are more conscious of the present, and we are more conscious of the signals that comes from our inside or even outside. And in this way, we'll be better prepared to actually make a better decision and to receive this message. Because if we want to tap in to our potential that we have inside us, it's very crucial for us to actually understand how our own clock works. And to do that, we have to also be able to receive the signals that are coming from our body, which maybe we are not listening to them right now. Be conservative and innovative at the same time. Why at the same time? Well, it depends on the situation. So we have to be very flexible in life. Sometimes it's better to keep up our ethics, our routine, and the way how we like to do things, because it allows us to not use so much mental power and just do the things that we usually do. And yet sometimes it's better to be innovative, flexible, and look at the things from a new perspective and start fresh. For sure, you have many opportunities like this in your life when you could just say like, well, I was just a little bit stubborn. Maybe it's better to sometimes not be so stubborn and just for instance, argue with someone for the sake of winning an argument. Maybe it's better to be a little bit flexible and say, well, yeah, I'm sorry, you were right, I was wrong. And sometimes it's better to actually be conservative, to keep our ethics and keep our thoughts and our behavior in line as we always did till now, and not change so much. So this kind of statement that I put right now is just a statement that is supposed to remind us that we should not be stuck in doing always the same, but at the same time, it is good to sometimes repeat the things we already did and actually keep our values intact, because some of them might be very good. So this all depends on you, depends on your situation in life. Some people like to change all the time, which is not good, and some people don't like to change at all, which is also not good. So try to be somewhere in the middle, and with this, it will help you to adjust your inner compass, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So intuition versus rational. I was speaking about intuition. I gave a small example, a small explanation what the scientists believe is intuition and rational. So generally, intuition is a lot of talk from our subconsciousness. Often when you make a decision, you have this gut feeling, well, maybe the decision is not so good, I feel the decision is better. But in making decision, it is always very good to stay on the rational side and actually ask proper questions that will lead us to proper consequences. Because unfortunately, intuition is often very much operating on lower systems of our brain. It's operating more on I like, I don't like, I'm attached to this, I want this. So often our decisions will be biased. I have a presentation, if you would like to check on YouTube, it speaks about how to make a proper decision, and it speaks there also about confirmation bias, where we are just keeping some ideas in our head, we are very attached to something, and then by asking a rational question, is this decision the decision that is, for instance, the best for me at this time, may unravel many attachments that we have in our heart. And so I personally believe that intuition is something very nice, very important, but rational, proper questions may give you the proper answers that you're looking in your life, rather than always following your emotion. Because emotion is a very powerful tool, but emotion is more like a big animal. And this big animal, it's very strong, and it can go even against the current. But if it doesn't have a conscious driver, which is the intelligence, then it may go opposite direction that you would like not to go. So by asking a proper question, for instance, is this a situation that I would like to do, and how much I will have to pay for taking this decision, and how much I will have to pay to take the decision I feel I want to take. So often we may feel more attached to the decision which is more comfortable for us, so we will choose the more easy option, but that is not the good way. So ask proper question to activate your rational side. Usually rational side can be also activated by asking for numbers. So how much it will cost me, when should I finish it, what will be the date. Numbers are something rational, and then you can get on this track and find more rational questions that will help you to speak better with yourself. So yeah, speaking on this note of taking the easy option, use common sense. Don't be lazy. Don't just take the easy option because you're afraid or because you don't want to use so much energy and it will cause you some discomfort or displeasure, or other people would criticize you for taking this decision. Often the opinion of other people may be something that stops us from actually being free and feeling happiness of taking our own decisions. And this has led us also to allow yourself to make mistakes. So, as you know all, sometimes when you cook, you may cook something that is not very tasty, but you cooked it by yourself. And because you cooked it by yourself, you will eat it all and you'll be very satisfied. And you will try to convince yourself, well, actually it was not so bad. So from this, we may understand that the art of creation, even if the creation is not the best, is still the best for us. Even if we create something which is a misfortune, which didn't work out as well as we thought, it is still our own creation and it is still our own actions. So often if we allow other people to make decisions for us, even passively, we are just afraid what they will think about us, how they will see us, will make us not be able to trust ourselves, make our own decisions, and make our own mistakes, which can be very, very valuable for us in the long go. Speaking also about the past, sometimes we may have committed many mistakes, burdens, and we may undervalue ourselves and undervalue our own ideas and opinions. And how to defeat that, we will speak about this in some of our next slides. So, should we follow our inner compass? And what if our inner compass didn't work till now? Well, don't worry. The idea of the inner compass is something that you already have all the ideas for your life, and you already have it all inside you. And I truly believe in that. In my own transformational journey, I can see that every day I take a step closer to my goals is the day I feel more empowered. Every day I postpone it by doing something else is the day where my inner compass still points to my own self and to my own good. So through this, I can understand that the inner compass always will show the proper direction, even if on the road there'll be some stones, some rocks, some walls, some rivers, some forest fires, whatever their life will show us. We just have to be patient, careful, and just keep doing what we love to do, and sometimes just wait, because in the end it's all about the journey and all about trying to pursue your goals, even if you don't reach them at the end. It is much more valuable and much more pleasurable than not trying at all. And even if it was not what we wanted, then at least we have more experience. So the inner compass is something that I truly believe that all we have in ourselves, and it is very important to motivate this inner compass by listening to different various life coaches, to different various books you can find on the internet and in libraries, different people you meet on the street, different religions that you may come in contact with. These experiences that you have in life, they all build this inner compass, which is already there, but it's more like cleaning a mirror. Once you clean the dust from the mirror, you can see your reflection better and better. Your reflection doesn't change. You're just more able to actually see yourself as you are and go deeper into your true, real self. So one of the biggest mistakes we can have in ourselves is that if we feed our old friend the inner critic. And the inner critic is a very, very big monster that can live inside our consciousness. But at the same time, this monster is imaginary, and it can be only as strong as much as we feed him. The inner critic is someone that appears in our life, usually around childhood when we are 7 years old, and our brain becomes a little bit more conscious. The more, let's say, intelligence starts to click on and starts to work properly. And this especially comes in handy if you have any kids and you would like to help them. They may imagine the inner critic as a person living in their head. They may call him Mr. Critical or critic, whatever they want to call him. And he lives in the house of their brain. And the more you feed him, the more bigger he becomes. And you feed him with all these negative feelings like, I'm not good enough, it's too difficult to learn this, I have to put so much effort, I don't have enough energy, I was never good at this, other people are better than me, etc., etc. All these negative thoughts, they feed the inner critic. And inner critic also, he works very well with his own friend and companion, self-victim. So victimizing ourselves, saying we're the victim, the world is like this, is the friend of inner critic. The inner critic is the one that is speaking about ourselves, and Mr. Victim is the person that tries to tell us that the world is trying to, or other people in the world are trying to show that we are not good enough. Anyway, continuing with Mr. Inner Critic, the best way to defeat Mr. Inner Critic is to have friends, have support, see actually what kind of a wonderful and amazing person you are, discover your own potential, whether it can be something very simple, like you're good at cleaning, you're good at putting things on the proper place. Maybe you have some talents you don't even know in the kitchen, or maybe you're good talents with speaking with people, you're patient, you're compassionate. Let's not get crazy and think that world is only about being successful, earning enough money and having a high career and doing this and that. No, life is about being a happy person that believes in himself and understand that humans are very, very important, and the character that you have in yourself, the way how you work with other people, the way how you perceive the world and how you talk with other people, how you share the love with them, shows our true character, is the true game in life we may have. So shifting from being a successful career person, we should shift to being a successful human being, how we treat ourselves, how we treat other people. In this way, with positive thoughts, finding the skills we already have, the skills we got from our grandmother, our grandfather, our mother, father, the teacher in school, the person on the street that you showed that helped this old lady cross the street, the guy who returned the $5 that he found, small, simple things, they will help the inner critic to go lower, to minimize, and to create a better way to contact with yourself. Because this inner critic is the voice that will stop us from achieving a better conversation with our own selves. If we don't trust ourselves, if we think we are losers, if we think we are not able to do anything, well, we will not want to speak so much with ourselves and do anything with this kind of consciousness. So in this way, with positive atmosphere, having positive people around us, having positive habits that are not destroying our bodies, like smoking, drinking too much alcohol, taking drugs, running around for men or women, running around for money, just for the sake of having more of them. These things may destroy our own purity, and it may not help us to become a better, more healthy version of our own selves. And in this way, this will give more food for the inner critic. So I hope this small presentation helped you to try to apply those simple practices in your life. So the first one would be to be more in tune with yourself, understand how you like to learn, how you like to communicate with yourself by reading, writing, dancing. Then try to be a little bit more aware of yourself, of your habits. Try to work more on, rather than intuition, on facts, figures, and try to ask yourself proper questions that will allow you to see the world as it is. Be more specific in life. What do you want exactly? In what kind of surroundings where you are right now? And then try to find your inner compass, believe in yourself, defeat the inner critic with positive people and positive habits. And in the end, I believe we can do it. Let's do it all together. Let's share the love. Let's show our hearts like this guy on this picture, which I really like and I really find it. And let's be strong. Let's show that we can change the world with love rather with negativity. And in this way, we're better to communicate with ourselves. And then we will speak about this later. We will try to communicate better with other people. Thank you very much for your attention. And that was John Carroll from John Carroll Coaching. If you have the opportunity, please subscribe us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or even TikTok. And leave us some comments, share us some love, and see you around. Thanks.